Now at 10, President Biden rolls out new COVID-19 protocols as cases surge nationwide. Plus, military veterans from around the 4 states reflect on the anniversary of 9/11 and recent events in Afghanistan. And Oklahoma lawmakers are laying out plans for more than $1 billion in federal pandemic relief funds.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
In a White House speech today, President Biden outlined a major new pandemic response to combat the surging coronavirus. It includes new federal rules aimed at prompting nearly 80 million unvaccinated Americans to get vaccinated. Skylar Henry reports from the White House.
The new COVID-19 vaccination effort President Biden unveiled Thursday is his administration's most aggressive yet.
The bottom line, we're going to protect vaccinated workers from unvaccinated coworkers.
The president's action plan mandates that private sector companies with more than 100 workers require them to be vaccinated or test for the virus every week. Workers at health facilities receiving Medicare or Medicaid money will also have to be fully vaccinated.
If you want to do business with the federal government, vaccinate your workforce.
And all federal and contract workers must get their shots as well or face losing their jobs. Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson is among Republicans criticizing the approach, saying in a statement that federal government mandates on private businesses are not the right answer. Among other wide-ranging measures to battle the surging pandemic, President Biden said fines will double for airline passengers refusing to wear masks.
If you break the rules, be prepared to pay. And by the way, show some respect.
And now, with the spike in cases among children and teenagers, the president is urging schools to set up regular testing for staff and students. That comes as the Los Angeles Unified School District voted Thursday to mandate COVID vaccines for all eligible students.
Item passes.
Thank you.
Before the vote, one school board member said he's old enough to remember when polio crippled some of his classmates. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
Under the new push, the Biden administration is increasing testing supplies and making at-home kits cheaper. Moderna is working on creating one vaccine that fights both COVID-19 and the flu. Today, the pharmaceutical company announced it's developing a potential combination vaccine. The single-dose vaccine would combine their booster against the coronavirus with their booster against the flu. The company reportedly hopes to have the shot ready and available by the fall. Moderna also submitted its COVID-19 booster shot for FDA approval this month. The shot would be administered 6 months after a patient receives the second dose of its vaccine. As it stands, Moderna's vaccine currently has only emergency use authorization. The Labor Department is reporting that last week, 310,000 Americans filed for jobless benefits. That's a new pandemic-era low. The dip last week for unemployment benefits goes hand in hand with the expiration of the enhanced unemployment benefit program. This also means there is no more emergency aid for the 12 million Americans who are still unemployed. In addition to the jobless claims numbers, a little over 96,000 people filed claims under the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program. This provides benefits for people not eligible for regular state aid, such as people who are self-employed. The U.S. is still 5 million jobs below February of 2020 levels. Oklahoma lawmakers are laying out plans for more than $1 billion in federal pandemic relief funds. The Joint Committee of the House and Senate on Pandemic Relief Funding met with 2 consultants hired by the state. The consultants are from Guidehouse, a Virginia-based company, and 929 Strategies. Oklahoma is set to receive nearly $2 billion. An additional $1.3 billion will go toward cities directly, also counties and towns across the state. The federal government has imposed strict guidelines on how that money can be spent. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt has removed the only 2 physicians from the board that oversees the state's Medicaid agency. Dr. Jean Hashier says she and Dr. Laura Shamblin were both informed that they were being removed from the governing board of the Oklahoma Health Care Authority, and she says they were not told why. Stitt's office did not immediately respond to questions about the decision. Hashier and Shamblin were among 7 members of the board who voted last week to delay implementing rules on Stitt's plan to privatize some Medicaid services. Jacob Linder joins us now with a first look at the weather.
Well, the humidity was pretty low today. We did get off to a little bit of a cool start, but overall, clear blue skies, and it was a pretty nice day. Currently, right now, or high for today, was 89. That is a little bit higher than normal. Still nowhere near our record high for the first week of September. And taking a look at the Skywatch storm tracker here, this is what we saw most of the day. Not a lot going on right now in the area. Current temperatures, most of us still lower 70s. We do have some upper 60s, 69 in Fort Scott right now, 67 in Nevada. A little warmer in southwest Missouri, 74 in Neosho, 73 right now in Webb City. Now as we work into tomorrow, here's what we're going to be looking at. Mid 60s when you get up to go to school and go to work. We will work our way through the 70s, through the 80s. We're back in the 90s again tomorrow. We're going to take a look at the full forecast here in just a little bit, Dow.
See you then. The Joplin Veterans Expo offers resources to veterans and their family. The 4th annual expo comes 2 days before the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 terrorist attack. One Army veteran we talked to says he has mixed feelings right now since the withdrawal from Afghanistan is also causing him and others to reflect.
Kind of feel like, we did it for nothing, so to speak. But no, I'm glad we're out. I'm glad nobody else has to go back. We protected America. That's the most important part.
We have a list of some resources available to veterans on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. Pittsburgh State is hosting several events to remember the anniversary of 9/11. Today, the Southeast Kansas Symphony performed in the Concert of Remembrance in the Bicknell Family Center for the Arts. The PSU ROTC presented and retired the colors, and the Pittsburgh Fire Department, under the leadership of Fire Chief Dennis Riley, who was in New York City when the attacks happened, performed a bell ringing. Still ahead, the U.S. and Taliban reach an agreement that will allow more Americans to return home. And the Justice Department files suit against the state of Texas over its new abortion law. A U.S. official confirms to CBS News that the Taliban has agreed to allow 200 people, Americans and other foreigners, to leave Afghanistan. Earlier this week, Secretary of State Blinken said it was believed there were around 100 Americans still wanting to leave the country. Officials say the U.S. is pressing the militant group to continue to release more people this week. The Biden administration is suing Texas over its new abortion law. The Justice Department announced the lawsuit during a news conference this afternoon. Naomi Ruckham has details.
Attorney General Merrick Garland is challenging Texas's new abortion law.
The act is clearly unconstitutional under long-standing Supreme Court precedent.
The Biden administration took action after the Supreme Court declined to block the law last week.
The obvious and expressly acknowledged intention of this statutory scheme is to prevent women from exercising their constitutional rights by thwarting judicial review for as long as possible.
The law bans abortions after about 6 weeks of pregnancy and allows private citizens to sue abortion providers or anyone who helps a woman get an abortion, authorizing damages of at least $10,000.
This kind of scheme to nullify the Constitution of the United States is one that all Americans, whatever their politics or party, should fear.
The Supreme Court said they're going to be the final word on the constitutionality.
Texas Republican Senator John Cornyn spoke about the Justice Department's lawsuit.
I am unapologetically pro-life. I believe in these cases you're dealing with more than just one person. And so the question is, how do you balance, or how do you deal with the rights of not only the woman who's seeking an abortion, but also the unborn child?
It is now law.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott signed the bill into law in May, but legal challenges delayed it from taking effect until last week. The Justice Department is also seeking an immediate injunction to stop the law from being enforced. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
The lawsuit was filed in U.S. District Court in Austin. The United Nations has confirmed that hackers breached its systems earlier this year. Unidentified hackers breached computer systems in April, and a UN spokesperson says it's had to fend off related hacks in the months since. The statement came after multiple private cybersecurity experts warned that cybercriminal forums have been selling access to login credentials for software that the UN uses to manage internal projects. Software could provide valuable access to intruders looking to extort the UN or steal data. UN officials were alerted earlier this year after a California-based cybersecurity firm noticed the login credentials for sale on the dark web. The UN reportedly had already taken steps to mitigate the impact of the breach before it was contacted. Jacob Leonard's up next with the complete forecast, and later the nationally ranked PSU Gorillas prepare for their next test against Nebraska Kearney.
Blue skies, pretty low humidity, and we even managed to stay out of the 90s today. So overall, it's a pretty good day for most of us across the area. Taking a look here at the Indigo Sky Casino time lapse, you can see pretty blue skies all day long. Taking a look at current conditions right now in Joplin, we've made it our way down through the 70s. Right now we're sitting at 73. The wind coming out of the south at 8 miles per hour. Humidity 55% right now. And over the last 36 hours, you can see today we didn't make it to 90, but it was a little warmer than what we saw yesterday. Yesterday topped out at about 85, 86 degrees. Today in Joplin, 88 degrees. Now, if you got up early this morning, like I was, it was pretty cool this morning. We were in the upper 50s, so nice and cool when you walk out the door this morning. Current temperatures right now, most of us setting in the lower 70s, 73 right now in Joplin, 70 in Pittsburgh. A little cooler the further north you go, 69 right now in Fort Scott, 69 in Nevada. Skywatch Storm Tracker here, as has been the case for most of the day. The heart of our area pretty clear right now. This is the last 12 hours here. As you can see, nothing. That's why we saw those pretty blue skies all day long. A future track for you when you get up, you're going to school, going to work. Most of us will still be in the lower to mid 60s, 62 in Nevada, 66 in Chanute. As we work our way through the afternoon hours tomorrow, unfortunately, we will get back to seeing 90 degrees. Now, Friday night football, I know everybody's going to be out there. I'm going to be out there too. We're looking at kickoff mid 80s for most of the area. And then as we work through the next few hours, once you're leaving those games, we will find our way back into the upper 70s. So it will be a little nicer for the ride home. Now, Saturday again, it's going to be hot, and we do have some afternoon football. Missouri Southern, of course, playing their home opener against Northeastern State. It's going to be warm. Those south winds keep us warm. We're going to be pushing 90 at kickoff for that one. And then as you go work through the next few hours after that game, when that one wraps up, it's going to be 92, 94 in Chanute at about 5 o'clock. We won't see the upper 80s until we get into the evening hours. A day planner for you, this is what you got. 66 when you get up to head out the door, 84 by noon. We will top 90 tomorrow, topping out at about 93 degrees. And that's going to be the case really for the next few days. 93 tomorrow, pair of 95s on the weekend. Hot again to begin next week, but the good news is we do have some rain chances on Wednesday. We got a 40% chance of showers on Wednesday, and that will bring cooler temperatures, which will be a welcome sight. Also, it would be a welcome sight if we could get some of that rain, because stuff dries out when it's 95 and sunny.
Yes, particularly when it's like that for an extended period, as it already has been. Jacob, thanks. A Joplin organization that's helping thousands of people learn to read is celebrating an anniversary. Joplin NALA Read has been serving the Joplin area for 40 years now. NALA stands for Neighborhood Adult Literacy Action. To celebrate the milestone, they hosted a literacy lift-off at the Missouri Southern Soccer Field, which featured a hot air balloon, food trucks, and other activities.
Whenever people leave here, I hope that they have had a chance to hear about some services in the community that maybe they didn't know about, that maybe them or someone that they know might be able to utilize to better themselves and improve their literacy skills.
Joplin NALA's offices are currently closed, but they are offering remote learning opportunities for anyone interested. Pittsburgh man is taking the farm indoors. Brad Forby moved to the 4 states from California. He says this area is perfect for his very specific brand of agriculture. Forby grows his plants inside old shipping containers. His style of farming takes Mother Nature out of the equation and can help feed the 4 states.
The response has been really great. I mean, the city has been wonderful working with us. When I was talking to them over the phone, trying to just describe what I wanted to do, believe me, not all city managers and economic advisors picked up the phone right away. But Pittsburgh really was. The word that they used was progressive, and I would agree with that. Forby
is in contact with local schools and restaurants to potentially sell his goods. Coming up in sports, Pittsburgh State football prepares for their first home game at full capacity since 2019. And the PSU volleyball kicks off the Gorilla Classic tournament with a match against Truman. That and more next.
The Pittsburgh State Gorillas host the Nebraska Kearney Lopers on Saturday in their first home game of the season. Pitt State is 1-0 and has climbed into the national rankings after their season opening win over Central Missouri last week. UNK is also 1-0 to begin the season. These two teams played in Pittsburgh last fall in front of a limited crowd. It was the Gorillas' only home game in 2020. Saturday's game will be at full capacity, giving the Gorillas a home field advantage they haven't enjoyed since 2019.
It's going to bring a new intensity to everyone that's playing there. Everyone talks about flipping a switch whenever you get on the field, but it's going to be different.
It's really cool, very exciting. We got full capacity, so I'm definitely excited about that. I mean, last year we had a home game, but we had like 25% capacity, so definitely having a full jungle is going to be awesome to see.
I'm just excited for our players to be able to have that experience. You know, we've got a freshman class and even a freshman class a year ago that haven't witnessed that, haven't seen that yet, and I'm just excited for them as well to see what game day is like here at Pittsburgh State.
Saturday's game kicks off at 7 p.m. at Carney Smith Stadium in Pittsburgh. The Missouri Southern Lions will also be at home on Saturday. The Lions aim for their first win in their home opener against Northeastern State. Southern lost their opener last week to Nebraska Kearney 38-0. It was a scoreless game after the first quarter before Kearney put up 38 straight points, including 21 in the fourth quarter.
I think we saw in the first quarter we can play with anybody in this league. Young, old, it doesn't matter. I mean, we came out and we were able to run the ball. We were able to get some stops defensively, and so that part was encouraging. And yeah, I think the thing you take from it is if we do it for 4 quarters, you know, now where are we at?
The Pittsburgh State volleyball team is hosting the Gorilla Classic tournament this weekend. The Gorillas are on the floor to start the tournament tonight, playing their first home match against Truman State. Both of these teams are 2-2 in their first 4 matches. Addison Waybrew with a nice get here to set up Brianna Richard for the kill. Then Meg Otten places this one perfectly to win the first set 25-16. Second set is a closer contest. Richard to Otten for a big kill. Gorillas hyped after that one. They go on to take set 2 as well. In the third, Hannah Martin comes flying in and buries this one. PSU doesn't drop a single set. The Gorillas win 3-0. The Pittsburgh High School boys soccer team is on the field this evening for an SEK matchup against Fort Scott. Pittsburgh is 1-0 in league play. Fort Scott is 1-2. The Purple Dragons aiming for their 3rd straight win after topping Columbus and Parsons in their last 2 games. From a throw-in, Christian Peranto driving toward the net, top corner. Fort Scott takes a 1-0 lead halfway through the first half. Pittsburgh putting on pressure now, a few good chances for the Purple Dragons. Jason Morales-Marita chips it towards the net. Johan Areola with the volley just misses wide. Pittsburgh able to turn this thing around. The Purple Dragons win 3-2. The St. Louis Cardinals finish up their 4-game series with the Dodgers today. The Cards beat the Dodgers in Game 3 last night 5-4, but they have lost 2 of the first 3 games in the series. St. Louis trying for the 4-game split this afternoon. Andrew Kisner RBI single gives the Cardinals the first run of the game. Dylan Carlson scores. To the 3rd inning now, Trey Turner singles in the gap. Mookie Betts comes home for LA to tie the game up at 1. In the 5th, this was the difference. Tyler O'Neill out to left just gets out of the park for the solo home run. Cardinals win and earn the series split 2-1. The Kansas City Royals finish up a 4-game series with the Orioles this evening. Tonight, the Orioles get the shutout win 6-0 over the Orioles. To split the series, Nicky Lopez sets the tone early with a first-inning home run. He finishes 3 for 5 with 2 RBI. And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Sergeant Arnold Breziver served in the U.S. Army during World War II. His hometown, Pittsburgh. And we are proud to salute Sergeant Arnold Breziver. He's tonight's four-state hero. You know, you can learn about lots of other heroes. You can also submit a hero of your own anytime. It's very simple to do. We're always looking for more heroes to honor. Just go to our website. It's KOAMnewsnow.com. An artist in Omaha, Nebraska is giving dead trees new life by carving them into art. Take a look at this. Passers-by can't get enough of what 48-year-old Fritz Hand carved out of what remained of a dying 100-year-old tree. Pretty remarkable. Hand is a lifelong artist who's been working with chainsaw art for the last few years. He was looking to branch out into larger projects when he got the idea of working on fallen and damaged trees during a walk around his neighborhood. Hand is always on the lookout for his next tree to turn into art. He says he's hoping to find one that says to him, "I am Groot," a character from the Marvel Comics superhero film Guardians of the Galaxy, as of course you already know.
This stuff is so cool, and I love it because I also have like no artistic ability. Like I can't even draw like a stick person well, so I'm always impressed with people who can do stuff.
And when
like
you
that.
do it with a chainsaw, there's not a lot of room for error.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Ruin the whole thing quickly.
Exactly. The weather.
Well, it's going to be hot the next few days, the weekend especially, 90 pair of 95s over the weekend. Now, the good news is we do have cooler temperatures working in the middle of next week, including rain chances on Wednesday, so that'll be a welcome sight if we can get back into the lower to mid 80s, right?
Yeah, love that for sure. Final sports note.
Pittsburgh State Volleyball hosting the Gorilla Classic this weekend. They won their home opener tonight over Truman.
Thanks for joining us. Don't forget our morning show, and let's make it a great tomorrow.
Salon service is provided by